this is what we're making today. The Rayna by Lynn's Handmade, all leather at 115%. A nice full zipper pocket, big enough for an i14 Pro Max. 2 zipper top pulls, a slip pocket and a pen pocket, and then tons of room on the inside. This is all my light gold hardware. It's just stunning. So you have lots of rivets. You have a pro strap, which looks really, really nice. The Rayna at 115%, all leather. This will be available on my website, and this is the lining. Isn't that pretty? It just goes perfect with the black and the pumpkin leather. It's got, I did also edge paint the leather on all the raw edges too. Go get the pattern. Let's get started. Hi everybody, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, and you'll see in the previous clip what I made. I'm making a Rayna at 115%, and I'm doing it out of leather. So here are my materials. I don't know, it's gorgeous. So I'm doing black for the bottom gusset and the zipper gusset. This is what I'm doing for the front and the back. I've already skived it all. Gorgeous. And then this is what I'm doing for the lining. So this is what it's going to be. Kind of hard to show. This leather is, let me just tell you. I skived it, and it's skived beautifully because it's firm. So this leather, before I started, was the black was 3.5 ounce. Sorry, and I skived it to 2. So that's the black. This pumpkin color was 4 ounces, and I skived it to 2. So I skived all my leather pieces. And then for my straps, I skived the whole piece. So both of these I skived the whole piece, and these I skived the whole piece. And these I'm going to just do raw edge. So I'm going to do these, all of these first, because I do want to put some edge coat on them. And I'm going to put black edge coat. I know I'm living dangerously, but I think it'll look good. So go get the pattern. I increased it to 115% just on my computer and printed it. And we'll do it then. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to first start by putting, and keep in mind, these wings for the Rayna are mirrored. So I am going to put some glue on here, and I'm just going to use some Aleene's leather and suede glue because they're going to get stitched. So it doesn't have to be cement for this, since they're going to be stitched together. Okay, so there's one. And once I stitch them, I will clean them up as far as trimming. Because you know, when you cut things out, they never are quite perfect. Okay. Okay, let's do this other one. Perfect. Perfect. And I'll let these dry probably a little bit, actually, an hour or two. It does dry pretty quickly. Okay. Grab a baby wipe. Always have some baby wipes. And I got this whole thing. I got like a box of these from Amazon, and I use them all the time. So it's worth it. All right. Let's let those dry. And actually, I forgot, I got to do this one. Let's put this together. I think this has a hole in it somewhere. Okay. Again, let's let that dry. We'll sew it, and then we'll also do just a little bit of trimming. All right, next step. All right, so I'm going to do my strap for my leather Rayna first. So I have the smaller piece of webbing and my square or rectangle ring. I'm just going to sew that on here, just so it stays together. Okay, so that's all you need. And then I marked for my rivet holes, and I'm going to go ahead and punch those. I did edge coat everything. I put 2 layers of base coat and 2 layers of top coat. Is it perfect? Yeah. No? Yeah. No. Okay, so that's what we have for our part of our snap. And the next thing we're going to do is add our slider. I'm using my gold hardware. So up and through. And then I gotta find my edge for my strap. It's just a small piece of leather. I'm just gonna put it right there. Fold it over, just like that. Perfect. Up and through. And then she does 2 rivets, which I think I'll go ahead and do. Yeah, let me grab my rivet. All right, so I put 2 rivets there. It really looks good. And then we're adding our little short part of our strap right here. We're gonna pull this up again and through our slider. Okay, oops, I didn't get that on there straight, did I? Nope. Always check. You never know. There we go. All right, so that's what you have. You have your little extra piece here and your slider. Now we're going to add our ends here, which I did edge coat all the way around. 2 base coat, 2 top coat. And now we are going to add some tape. I'm not going to go crazy with the tape, but I'm going to put some on here. Just on all the straight edges on both pieces. And my tape is sticking to me. This piece I did skive completely, so it is thinner, which I am glad I did. It just can get really thick if you're not careful. Okay. And there's a little extra hanging out here, and I don't want that. There we go. All right. So I'm going to put my slider on. My swivel goes right there. Perfect on both pieces. Okay. Let's do this short one first. And we're going to add it to our webbing, and then we'll top stitch. Oh my goodness, watch Barb take the tape off. That piece just came right up. And I am going to add some rivets on this too, once I get it on, which feels like it's going to take forever because of my tape. There we go. All right, so take your short end, and we're going to lay that just right centered. Perfect. Then you're going to bring this up, and you're going to make sure that your ends are matching as best as you can. Yeah, a little too far. There we go. Okay. Make sure your sides are matching. Okay. So just like that. Now we're going to stitch all the way around. I'm going to start down here. Yeah, I want to go one more tiny. There we go. Nope, I don't like that. There we go. And then down each side. take the time to get it right, because if you don't like it, it will not look the way you want it to. Perfect. Okay, it got a tiny bit off right here, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'll show you. Right there. Can you see that right here? I'll have to think about whether I want to fix that or not. Let's do the other one, and then we'll decide. Okay, we're going to do our little slip pocket. So this is going to be right sides together, wrong sides together. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it like my favorite method. We're going to measure down the sides 3/4 of an inch. This is not, the pattern calls for a mesh pocket. I don't like mesh, really. So 3/4 on each long edge. And we're going to fold that in. Then we're going to put wrong sides together. Sew across the top, just baste it, and add our accent piece. Okay, now wrong sides together, just like this. And we're going to baste that top close just so it stays where we want it. And then we'll add our accent piece. We're not sewing the sides until we put it on. All right, let me put some, this is way too long, so let me cut it off. Okay. Let's mark down the middle. Just to give us a guide more than anything. Okay, take your tape off. And we're gonna lay the top right just shy of that center mark that we did. And then we're going to fold it over. And top stitch. Perfect. make sure you caught the back, which we did. Trim any excess that you have on both ends. This is going to be one gorgeous bag. All right. Now let's grab one of our lining pieces, and we're going to lay that centered. You know what? Let me mark my centers. All right. So now I'm going to use my Sew Tights, and we are going to center our piece. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, and we're going to sew down the side and the bottom. Oh, you know what? Okay, so we're going to center that on the bottom. And I probably should have left my edge, unsewn edge down here, but that's okay. We're going to sew that on to the bottom. And then I didn't make a pen pocket in my other one, but I think I'm going to. This is a pretty big pocket, so I think I'm going to make just a small pen pocket. I'm going to measure over 1 3/4 from my edge. That way I can get 1, maybe 2 pens in there. You know, a small bag, you don't really need a bunch of pens. And just stitch up that. Perfect. So there you go. That is really nice. I really prefer that over a mesh pocket. All right, next step. All right, so now we're going to take our front bottom and our zipper. Now, I increased my pattern by 15%, so my zipper is going to be a little bit longer. So we're going to take our exterior piece, and I added some 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and we're going to lay this right side. The zipper is right side down. And we're going to take our lining piece and sandwich that zipper. So my lining piece is right side down as well. Okay. That's a little over too far. Let me see. There we go. Now we're going to sew that on with the seam allowance in the pattern. I did change my zipper to my zipper foot as well. And we're going to fold those wrong sides together. And I'm not using any interfacing. This leather is pretty stout, so it really doesn't need any. And we're going to top stitch. Perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to wait just a minute before I decide where to put my tag. Then we're going to take our exterior top piece and lay that right side down on our zipper. And sandwich our lining piece on top. Perfect. Same seam allowance. Same process, fold those wrong sides together and top stitch. Perfect. Love it. And top stitch. Go grab my tag and we're going to add our tag, but that's what you have so far, and we'll add our zipper too. All right, so I did go ahead and add my zipper pull and I added my tag. Now I'm just going to baste all the way around so those stay together. And then we can trim our zipper tape. Whenever you trim zipper tape, always burn those ends. All right. And now you have a completed front. I love it.
Next step.
All right, so take one of your lining pieces right side up and lay your front completed pocket right side down. And we're going to clip those together and baste them in place. So you could have waited to baste. I don't mind the extra base stitch myself. So what this does is complete your pocket. So you have lining on both sides of your pocket. So let's just baste around that again. It's all right. And if there's any excess hanging over, just trim that. So I have a tiny bit of hangover here, so I'm just going to trim that up just ever so slightly, and I have a little bit up here. That's it. So now you have a completed pocket with lining on both sides. Love it. So now we're going to baste them together, the front and back, because this is a bound bag. So this is the back or the front, whichever you like. And we're going to add the lining piece, the one with our pocket, wrong sides together. And we're going to just baste that all the way around. And then we're going to do the same with this piece, another piece, and those are wrong sides together. Okay. Again, another basting stitch. Uh-oh. I might be running out of bobbin. Let's see. Okay. Again, so now you have that, and if there's any excess, let's trim that off. We don't need a bunch hanging over. Okay. Let's repeat that on this side. Again, I don't really have much hangover here, just a tiny bit. right. So take your wings, fold the straight edge in half and mark your center. That center is going to be lined up with the center of your back main piece. And we're going to baste those on. So that's what you should have. So we're going to baste down that long side. On both sides. Perfect. All right, now we're ready to do our zipper panel. Okay. I need to get one more zipper pull. So this zipper panel is the same as many. So this is my outside piece, and I just put an 1/8 inch piece of double-sided tape. And we're gonna lay our zipper without the pulls right side down. And then take one of our lining pieces and sandwich that in between. And we're going to stitch that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. And we're going to fold those away from our zipper and top stitch next to the zipper. Just make sure it all looks good. And let's top stitch. Let me check my bobbin. Oh, I got plenty of bobbin. Okay, good. All right, let's top stitch. And then I'm going to baste the other sides. Yeah, that got folded over. Just do it from this side. Watch your lining so it doesn't get folded over, which mine did. It's okay. Alrighty. That's one side, and we'll repeat that on the other side. All right, so with your zipper panel, it needs to be a certain length and width. And because I increased mine, I had to do a little bit of math, which is actually very scary for me. But I did it, and then I cut it lengthwise to the measurement, and I cut it widthwise to the measurement. Now we're just going to put our bottom on. I got my zipper pulls on. I'm using 2. I'm going to add my bottom gusset, right sides together, and my lining, right sides together. And sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me just check that. Yeah, it's a little different seam allowance. I thought it was, so just be aware of that. Okay, and then we're going to bring that up to the other side and do the same. And I'll be top stitching. Well, I'll go ahead and do it now. Bring your bottom gusset wrong sides together, and we're going to top stitch here. Now bring your other exterior up to your exterior, and same with your lining. And sew those together. Seam allowance in the pattern. And because I'm using leather, I'm going to trim this side just a little. on each side. Just to get rid of a little bit of bulk here, not a lot. Put all that wrong sides together. And clip it together. And we're going to base that all to make it one piece. Let's do it. We're going to base these long edges and then top stitch here on both sides. I think I'll start here. Go down this one last side. Okay. Let's clean that up. And then sometimes what happens is here your zipper gusset and your bottom gusset doesn't always match. Just trim it to match, just like that. Ever so slightly on both ends. Mine doesn't do it on, I need to do it just a little bit on both ends, not much. Very common. That's all we trimmed right there. Perfect. And now you have your gusset. So let's bring these two seams together. I'm just going to clip them because we're going to find our centers. I'm going to find the center on the bottom on both long edges. And then the center on our zipper gusset. Both long edges. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna take our, this is my, I'm gonna consider my front, and right sides together. I am going to clip those on all the straight edges. So the bottom, and then the top, matching our centers. And I probably will do some stapling. I think I did on the others. It really does help. We'll see. let's clip our corners on the gusset. On all 4 corners. All right, then we will staple. And I'm just stapling on my corners, not on my straight edge. It fits really good. I'm always amazed. All right, perfect. And then let's sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me see. Yeah. All right, let's stitch this together. I'm going to start at the bottom. Just be aware of where your staples are. You don't want to go over those if you can avoid it. That staple was very close. Very. Alright. Now I am going to go ahead and bind this side after I take my staples out. So I have this handy dandy little staple remover, so it really works good. But when you put staples in, just keep in mind, whatever you put in, you have to take out. So I usually try and use the least number possible. Because I don't enjoy this process right here at all. Just making sure I got all those. I've got about 5 on each corner. But boy, does it make a difference, I'm telling you. Worth the extra time. All right, let's make sure I got them all, which I did, okay. Now, I am just going to straighten up my edges if there's anything that appears to be uneven. Which it isn't much. Not much. That's pretty good. That's it. All right, let's do our binding. I'm gonna do it my way. So I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna stretch it around. And I'm gonna cut it off. Then I'm gonna put it right sides together and sew it together. Trim this, and then we'll put it back on and clip it all the way around. So I'm going to do this side with you, and then the other side we will do on fast forward. Whoops. There went a clip. So the way I do my binding, it just fits so perfectly. And there's nothing that you have to fold over. It's all sewn together. I really like this method. And just in full disclosure, my friend BJ is the one who showed me. She was so excited one day and she called and said, I gotta show you this binding method. And I've been using it ever since. It's just perfect. My BJ, that BJ is something else. I love her to death. Okay, let's sew that on and see that's in pattern. See how fast that is? Oh my gosh. It's just, let's see how, if I missed any. I was really close right here, so I'm just going to go back over it. Right there. Really close. It caught it, but it was very, very suspicious. And that's one beauty about doing black with black. Nobody's ever going to see it. And then, what was the other? Right here. Okay, love it. That side is done. Let's do the other side. So this is the back, which is the wings. Oh, you know what? I just realized I put my wings on upside down. Yep, all right, so the top of my wings needs to be right side up with my pocket. That's where I noticed that wasn't the case. So let's put this right sides together with the other side of our gusset. And I will repeat that whole process on fast forward. Let's turn it right side out. I think it's going to be gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of a bumblebee. The leather smells so good. No puckers yet. No puckers. Not one pucker. Let's see. Nope. Not one pucker, you guys. I'm pretty proud of that. No puckers. cute that is. Oh my gosh, the gold hardware. This new gold hardware I have, oh, it's to die for. Then you have your pocket. And I do 2 zipper pulls because I made it 115%. All right, let's finish it up. All right, so you take your little strap adjuster. I've already got my holes on it. And we're just going to add that here. And get it as even as you can. And mark for your holes. Oh, I need gold. What am I thinking? Hold on, let me find the gold. What did I do with my... Here they are. All right, let's do it. I almost put black matte, which would have been fine. But oh my gosh. All right, let me go press these. The other side, I'm doing the top stitching or the top coat, edge coat. So I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes and we'll come back and finish. All right, so I finished this one. And we're gonna add it to this side. Mark your holes, punch your holes. And add your rivets. Man, this gold hardware, I have to say, I just love it. So I'll go press those and then we're done. This is fantastic. This is my favorite Rayna so far. 115%. You've got a nice big pocket here which your phone fits in. My iPhone 14 Pro Max. And then you've got 2 top zippers and you open it up and it has a slip pocket and a pen pocket on the back and tons of room. And then the way she does the strap connectors are very nice, very decorative, very nice. So here it is. Let me tighten it up just a little. I'm a shorty. There we go. The Rayna by Lynn's Handmade, leather, all leather on the outside at 115%. Absolutely adorable. This one will be for sale on my website. Oh, you guys, it's so cute. It smells just like leather. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click like, subscribe, and comment, and go get the pattern and try your own. Or you can buy this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.